What is good, Rampage Army? Welcome back to another honest impressions, opinions video where I play a particular game and I give my honest thoughts, opinions, and impressions of the game. These are not the review videos because, like I said before, I don't think I could do these games justice by doing reviews. So these are just an average gamer's opinions. And today we are talking about Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. And this is my very first Yakuza game that I actually finished. I played a bit of the first installment and the second one. I think I did play like an hour or two of each, but the game just didn't stick with me. It just wasn't my type of game, you know. But I am familiar with the protagonist Kiryu. But yeah, the game just didn't click with me. But this time around, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna sit through this one since it was a day one release on Xbox Game Pass. Played it on PC. I was like, you know what, let me sit through this and play it, you know, from beginning to the end, because it said the main story is like 10 hours to beat, and I clocked in at about 30 hours when I completed the game because I was involved in so much of the side content in this game. But anyway, I'm going to talk about what I liked, what I disliked, and would I recommend this game. So with that being said, the gameplay will contain minor spoilers for those who have not played the game. And what I'm going to talk about might have minor spoilers, but I'm going to try and not give major spoilers. I mean, this game's been out for what, a month or two now, I think. I'm not too sure. But anyway, sit back, relax, and let's talk about the man who erased his name. So right off the bat, the things that I like about this game. First off, let's talk about the protagonist, because Kiryu is just a badass, man. So like I said, I played the first installments, like 1 or 2 hours of it. So I'm familiar with who he is, right? And the vibes you get from this guy, he's just a complete badass. And through, from the beginning to end, he's just a complete badass. Whenever he's on the screen, man, he demands, you know, the presence, you know. His presence demands, I gotta say, everyone's attention. He makes you as the player feel like a badass. And man, let me just say, play this game in the original language. Do not play it with the dub, because to be honest, the English dub for Kiryu is just, it's alright. It's not the worst, but given the premise of the story, Kiryu should be older, you know, and the English dub voice just doesn't match what they're going for, in my opinion. Again, that's just my opinion. But Kiryu, from beginning to end, man, he's a complete badass. Talking about badass, the next thing is the story. I like the story, or should I say the premise of the story, because it's sort of set up as the old dog that comes out of retirement, or the return of the old god, you know. So it sort of gives me John Wick vibes, you know. So there is that clicked with me, that hooked me, and I want to see where this goes, because we have a badass Yakuza coming out of retirement, becoming sort of a double agent with this organization, the Dojima. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. I apologize if I'm butchering the names of these things. The Dojima clan, they sort of like a secret service, secret agency thing, so he's sort of a secret agent now. And yeah, you got two fighting styles. You got the agent style, the Dojima style, if they call it, and then you have your Yakuza style, right? So talking about that, that's another thing I enjoyed, was the combat. And at first, the combat is a bit, it's a bit, it's a bit stiff. But as you play the game and you progress and you actually, you unlock new abilities, skills, and all, you know, get new gadgets and all that, there are some wild things you can pull off here, man, and it's just insane fun. It does get repetitive a bit, but we'll talk about that in the parts that I dislike. So combat is fun. You got between two styles, like I said. The Yakuza style is more slower, but it hits hard. So the Yakuza style is the style that packs a punch. The double agent, why do I keep on saying double agent? The agent fighting style, the Dojima fighting style, is more fast paced, but it does less damage, but you do faster combos and you have all these different types of gadgets, right? So switching between these two styles was great. I prefer the Dojima style because I could pull off a whole lot of other things, you know. So The combat is great. The next thing I liked was the characters. The characters are well written, from side characters to the main characters within the main story. Akame, man, she is 8 foot away. There's a lot of characters in this game. So, and the game also does a lot of throwback to previous installments. So you wouldn't feel entirely lost within the story, but I started scratching my head and thinking to myself, okay, who's that person? But they do give some background to Kiryu in this installment, and I know a lot of purists and Yakuza fans are gonna say that, but this is the worst start of someone to get into the Yakuza franchise. I know. But this one was a shorter story, and I wanted to try it out, and I think this was a good, I'm gonna say, taste test for me. So the characters are well written. They are great voice acted. The other character of this game for me is the cities, the locations. Man, they look good. So you are in the city called Sotenbori, whatever, and the city looks great. This obviously looks better than the previous installments, but the city is alive. It's very bright, it's colorful, and I was just lost in the city, collecting these briefcases, collecting these keys, and I got obsessed with collecting these keys to unlock all the lockers that you get in the city, and I got like 5 or 6 remaining. I gotta find the rest of them. The other location is where you find the arenas, which is also great, and it's also very colorful, and some crazy things that happen there, man. Some really crazy things. But that's the other thing that I like about this game, is this game shines for me when it comes to its side content, especially the side stories that you get through the Akame network. What you do with Akame, right? You have to build up the reputation of this network. So I've ended up fighting samurais. A samurai was roaming the streets of the city. I've taken down various gangs. I've went ghost hunting with a streamer. It's just crazy, man. And then you have the arena that's on this. It's called the castle, right? It's like situated on a boat. It's like a pretty cool dynamic, right? And there in this arena, there's just these various different characters you can fight against, and you can have team matches as well. You can build up your team, which was pretty great, and you can build a connection with these different team members. So I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, talking about side content, man, this game has so much to do. Whether it's from playing darts, playing pool, shooting pool. I don't know what you guys call it there. We call it pool, the 8-ball, whatever you call it. You can build up a toy go-kart thingy, and you can race with that. You can even go on dates with this sort of gentleman's club, and they actually have live models, live action models that you actually interact with. So I'm not sure if this was in the previous installments of Yakuza, but I can see why you guys... But if it was, I can see why you guys like the Yakuza franchise. So that was pretty interesting, because you can have conversations with them and build up relationships with them, right? And your relationship gets strong and so forth, and you go on a date and all these things. So that was, that was pretty decent. There's like a lot of little things here and there that I like, that because I'm trying to think of on the top of my head, going into this video. But with that being said, all those things I said, I like the game. Without a doubt, I like the game. I enjoyed my time with the game. Like I said, at 30 hours, I kept in with this game, but finishing it 30 hours when they said the main story takes about 10 hours only. But with that being said, that is what I liked about the game. Let's talk about what I disliked about the game. And first things first is, first of all, let's talk about the protagonist again. And Sega, I feel like you guys should have just put a bit more effort in here, because, so, spoiler incoming, Kiryu is presumed dead, right? I'm not going to tell you how or why he's presumed dead, right? But when he goes to this when he joins this agency thing, right, he's presumed dead and he goes undercover, sort of, right? But they just change his name from Kiryu to Joryu, and they slap him with a suit and spectacles. That's it. Dude's personality does not change. He's the badass, like I said, from start to ending. He's just a bit more, he's just more quiet, standing there, standing one side until he has to step in, and that his style is completely the same. Like, everyone knows it's Kiryu, and you'll see this across the game. Everyone looks at him and they know it's Kiryu. It's like insane. Like, what you trying to do? If you're trying to hide him, why do you not give him a different hairstyle, which they give him at the end? That's just mind. I feel like Sega could have just paid more attention to that. Because as you play the game, you find out, you'll see it throughout the theme of the game. Everyone knows it's Kiryu, but he keeps on playing it off, and he keeps on being the badass that he was. So it's like, man. Now it's a minor thing because it was still fun, because whenever Kiryu is on the screen, man, I was enjoying myself. But anyway, the next thing that I hate, and this is where I say the combat is a bit repetitive. It comes to the open world when you're in the city. They have these gangs that's always walking around the city. They're around every damn corner, right? And they're like these bunch of gangs. They can be 10, 5 or whatever. But at first it was charming. But as you go on, it just gets annoying. Because I wish they employed a different mechanism where you had to instigate, you had to do something to instigate where these gangs sort of attack you. But it's just where you walk by them and then all of a sudden you're in a fight. And there's many times where I'm just trying to absorb this, the city and be part of it, order food, buy things here and there, collecting things and getting lost in the city. But then I have to keep on confronting these damn gangs and it's so annoying. Now, yes, they are easy to fight. They're more like target practice, and you can make cash from them. Right? But at the same time, it really gets annoying when you have to do the same thing around every corner, Now you can run away from them, just turn around. But I mean, just by walking past them instigates the fight. They could have just employed something better there. So that gets really annoying. The next thing, I wish that everything was voice acted, even the side quests. So when you come to the side quest through the Kami network or whatever other side quest, there's certain parts of the game that's not voice acted and you have to sit there and read subtitle, which is fine. I guess it's the JRPG style, and I'm not saying that they must change this because that's always been the style of JRPGs, But the voice acting is so good. I wish they actually voice acted everything. It would have made the game more immersive for me. But other than that, there are times also when the dialogue takes so long that I've already read what was said on the in the subtitles, that I'm sometimes just pressing skip, to move it along. And that leads me into the next problem that I have with the game, is that the cutscenes tend to overstay their welcome. Honestly, man. Wow. So chapter 1 of this game is about an hour, 50 minutes to an hour long, right? I can't recall now, but from that 50 to 60 minutes, I only held the controller for gameplay for 15 minutes, where I had to do particular fights. The rest was just dialogue and cutscenes, and it was so insane, man. Honestly. Now, yes, the story is not the best story. It's a good story. I think it's a solid enough story. But man, the dialogue tends to just pushes on for longer than it needs to go on. You know what I'm saying? And talking about the story, the next thing for me that I really disliked was, I know it's a Yakuza game, they're gangsters, whatever, and things like that. They're the mafia. But there's too much moments where there are double crossings in this game, in the main story. And that also extends to the cutscenes being way longer. There were moments I'm like, come on, man, that did not need to happen. People are constantly turning against one another. It's just like, come on, man, that just did not have to happen. But other than that, man, the way the game really shines is the side quest. And the side quest stories don't really overstay their welcome. They straight to the point. They have minor cutscenes where you are reading this, and it gets straight into the action. You do the thing and it's done. I don't think there's anything else much. I mean, this game is filled with content, and I can see you putting so much hours into just playing DOS or something like I did. But there's a lot going on with this game. Now, me saying I just like these things doesn't mean I don't like the game. Like I said, I like the game. I enjoyed my time with the game. Do I recommend the game? Yes. If you are new to the Yakuza series, I would not recommend playing this one immediately, because like I said, there are some throwbacks that they do in this game, right? And the throwbacks, they take directly from the previous installments, right? They take the cutscenes directly, and they don't even touch it up with that, to make it fit with the graphics of this version, So that's also kind of a minor thing. But yeah, and I was left sometimes ask myself, okay, who is that, So I would advise to play the other installments first before you come to this one. But I think this was a solid entry. It is the shortest one so far that I've seen. Would I play the rest now? Yes, but not at the moment. This was sort of a, me trying out something new, and I liked it, but I don't see myself jumping immediately into the rest of the installments because they are so much more. I have been keeping my eye on that Ishin, what's it called, Ishin, the one that's set in feudal Japan. That's sort of a spin-off thing. I'm kind of looking at that one to try, but anyway, man. Yeah, so I like the game. I do recommend it, especially if you are already familiar with the Yakuza series. Let me know your thoughts down below. Did you play the game? Did you enjoy it, or are you skipping this one? And let me know, for the Yakuza fans there, what are your thoughts? And let me know your thoughts down below for the other people as well, where they should start off. Obviously part 1, but if they don't want to start with part 1, given the age of it, where is a good jumping on point, besides starting from the very first installment? With that being said, guys, I gotta love and leave you. Thanks for the support. Hit that subscribe button for more honest impressions and opinions videos like these, and for more reaction videos and more discussion videos. Stay safe out there. I'll catch you on the next video. Rampage out. Peace.